In October, the anime adaptation of the successful manga series Bocchi The Rock was released by none other than Cloverworks, the same animation studio that brought us fairy tale Horimiya and their most recent hit, Spy Family. With the amazing opening of the Kesoku band, let's make way to learn the story of Hitori, a very shy girl who has the dream of creating a band and being famous. The story begins by showing us a flashback of a girl that was too shy to play with other kids, and that always ended up sharing her lunch with the teacher. She had no friends, and the only messages she got were from her parents and a few promotions for discounts. This girl's name is Hitori Goto, our introverted but above all extremely shy protagonist. But everything changed when she saw an interview with a boy band where one of the members said that he was one of the boys that sat alone at the back until he joined the band. This resonated deeply with the girl, who borrowed a guitar from her father and then proposed herself to learn to play it and join a band so that the world would recognize her. 3 years have passed since then, and our main lead already plays the guitar perfectly. She tells us that she practiced to play in front of people, but she hasn't managed to do so yet. In these 3 years, she hasn't achieved anything, only the ability to play the guitar well without having anyone pay attention to her. Now in high school, her last option remaining is to join a band no matter what. Hitori tells us, by way of a song, about how she likes to lock herself up in the closet, and that she also uploads covers of famous songs under the nickname of Guitar Hero. Her last video was incredibly well received, but in the comments, someone tells her something about a band, which makes Hitori have memories, and she abruptly turns off her computer. She must pursue this dream of being part of a band again, no matter the cost, even though she already tried it, but apparently it didn't work. However, Hitori got an idea, which is to take her guitar to school to see if she can catch somebody's attention that way, which also didn't work, or so it seemed, because in the distance, a girl called Kita managed to see Hitori and her guitar, but only for a little while, since her friends called her. Our protagonist, defeated, goes to a small park to reflect and surrender fully to her virtual world with 30,000 subscribers, until a girl arrives and asks her about her guitar. Her name is Nijika Ichichi, and she's in the 2nd year of high school. Hitori barely introduces herself since she's too shy. Nijika asks Hitori if she can play with her band today because their guitarist left and they needed a replacement. Without thinking twice, and against Hitori's wishes, she takes her away. On the way, Nijika tells Hitori that they will play in a club where she works, and also tries to strike up a conversation, but doesn't manage to do much due to our protagonist's shyness. Eventually, they arrive at the club where they will play, a place called Starry, where Nijika's sister is the manager. Now in Starry, Hitori meets the assistant of the place and also the other members of the band. Ryo Yamada, who is the bassist, very quiet and doesn't speak much. Nijika says that she's a bit of a weirdo, but Ryo denies it. They both take Hitori to their studio to rehearse the songs they'll play later. In the studio, Nijika gives Hitori the sheet music to practice. They made things easy for our main lead, and so they start rehearsing. But there's a problem. It went horribly on Hitori's part. We learned that Hitori is very good at playing solo, but now that she's playing in a group, she can't coordinate with others, and she can't look anybody in the eye due to her social anxiety, which makes the harmony fall apart completely. Hitori collapses, but the girls cheer her up and they recommend her to watch the video of someone called Guitar Hero, which are pretty good, and both girls, Nijika and Ryo, deeply admire this nameless guitarist. Hitori, seeing that they recognize her, though not very directly, takes courage and stands up for a while before becoming self-conscious again. Ryo hands her a box of mangoes so she can hide and not see the people while she plays. Also, Hitori needs a nickname to be able to introduce herself, so Ryo suggests that they give her the name Bocchi because of the wordplay in her name Hitori Bocchi, which means feeling lonely in Japanese. Bocchi asks about the band's name, to which Ryo answers that it's called Kesoku Band, which draws our protagonist's attention, since those were the bands that they put on some things for safety. The Kesoku Band makes its grand debut with Nijika on the drums, Ryo on the bass, and their newest member, Hitori Goto Bocchi, as the new guitarist who played inside a box of mangoes. Hitori loved playing with other people, but she still doesn't manage to shine. Quite to the contrary, she's playing inside a box. This is the lowest she has fallen. After they finish playing, the girls cheer Bocchi up and Nijika wants to make a welcome party for her, but our lead didn't like that idea, so she leaves the place. On the way home, Hitori promises herself to overcome this anxiety and draw out all the strength of Guitar Hero to stay in the Kesoku band alongside Nijika and Ryo, and she gets really inspired until she accidentally bumps into someone. Hitori tries to take an ice bath to clear her mind. She was exhausted. We go back a few days before the bath. Hitori is standing outside Starry as Nijika told her they will have a meeting to discuss the future of the band. Now at Starry, the 3 girls start the first meeting of the Kesoku band. Nijika admits that since she's just getting to know them, she doesn't know what to talk about. So, Ryo pulls out a board game that has a dice, and on each side of it there's a different topic of conversation. First, the talk about school. Ryo and Nijika go to the same high school, but Bocchi goes to another one which is 2 hours away from her house. The conversation becomes a little dense since Bocchi doesn't have many anecdotes to talk about, as she spends her time in high school alone and has no friends. Nijika tells her not to worry, since since Rio doesn't have many friends either, only Nijika. This excites Hitori because she thinks Rio is just like her, but no, Rio just enjoys solitude. It seems that the difference between someone that is alone and someone that is lonely is pretty big. The next topic is about their favorite music. Bocchi says that she listens to anything that doesn't trigger her complexes, such as cheerful music or songs about youthful love, among others. Then, they talk about the concert they have. Nijika notes that they lack a vocalist, since the guitarist that left was also the one that was going to sing. The girls distribute their work. Hitori will write the lyrics, Rio will look for a vocalist, and Nijika avoided the topic. They talk about tickets, the amount of tickets for a concert, and that they need a certain amount of them to earn some money. If they didn't meet the quota, the band would lose money, and so they need people to come watch them. Although that's a bit complicated because of what happened at the concert the other day, so they need to work to raise money for the tickets. Bocchi doesn't want to work because she's afraid that her extreme anxiety will ruin everything. Because of that, Nijika and Rio propose that she works in the club with them. Bocchi ends up accepting, very forcefully. Their work will start next week. We go back to Bocchi's bath in the present day. She's feeling really anxious because her work starts tomorrow, so she tries to catch a cold by any means possible to not have to work, which she fails to do, since apparently she's in very good health. You would also be in very good health if you hit the like and subscribe button, which helps me a lot to keep making summaries such as this one. You can also tell me in the comments which animes you want me to make summaries on, so you don't waste your precious time. Moving on, Bocchi arrives at Starry, and the manager greets her. She thought that she wanted to buy tickets, but recognized Hitori as the new guitarist in Nijika's band. Rio and Nijika arrive at the club and teach Bocchi what she has to do. Nijika explains that the club cannot run only on concerts, so they have to operate as a restaurant. The clients start arriving and Bocchi is in charge of serving them. They barely manage to attend people because of Hitori's shyness. Ryu comes back from selling tickets since the manager will replace her. The girls stay to watch a band that was introducing itself while Bocchi apologizes for being a burden. Nijika comforts her and tells her to be happy with them. This resonated with Bocchi. She saw people enjoying the concert and promises herself to improve little by little to not have empty concerts and make people happy. Character development, people. This is cinema. The girls are happy to have Bocchi in the band and text her, but Hitori caught a big fever. Nijika says that the only thing missing is a vocalist. We are shown a karaoke and the same girl from before, Kita, is holding a mic. A new day begins, and Bocchi's little sister tells her that she's a nuisance. Bocchi thinks that being part of a band and working in a club has made her more sociable, but it didn't work. The Keisuku band still needs a vocalist. Bocchi tries to look for a girl to join them, but to no avail, and so she sings something to lament in her hiding place behind some stairs, and there, Kita, who had followed her, shows up. Bocchi asks her to be the guitarist and vocalist of her band, because Bocchi knew that Mita was a singer. But there was a problem. Kita didn't know how to play the guitar, and she actually said she could play it just to get into a group. When she sees Bocchi play, Kita asks her to be her teacher and to teach her how to play, which Bocchi accepts. They both head towards Starry, and Bocchi tells Kita that the rest of the girls are waiting for them. But Kita, upon hearing the club's name, tells her that she has to leave until Nijika arrives and tells Kita that she's the fugitive guitarist. Kita apologizes and tells them that she doesn't know how to play, and that's why she avoided rehearsals. To redeem herself, the manager tells her to work in the club. Bocchi tried to teach her how to serve drinks, but she was so nervous, she couldn't manage to do it, burning her own hand with coffee. Kita tells her about her reasons for wanting to join the band, and also her reasons to leave it. But Bocchi refused, and manages to convince her to stay. The girls tell Kita that they're not mad, since they met Bocchi thanks to her, and Bocchi was the one who made her come back. They realize that Kita had been practicing for a while, because she had calluses on her fingers. But it turns out that all this time, she wasn't using a guitar, but rather a 6-string bass. Later, Rio buys the bass for Kita, and lends her a guitar. Now, Bocchi's classes as a guitar teacher begin. While they were rehearsing, Kita remembers that she must not only play the guitar, but sing as well. The girls conduct a meeting to discuss what things they can do to look like a proper band. Bocchi becomes in charge of writing the lyrics to their first song. A week has passed, and she still doesn't find the inspiration to write the lyrics while she's being watched by her family. Hitori meets up with the girls expecting to be reprimanded for not having finished the song yet, but in reality, it was just to take some pictures together as a band. This complicates things for Bocchi, since they were outdoors and she was very embarrassed. The girls, they didn't know how to pose for a photo, so they decide to take a picture while jumping. Bocchi managed to finish her lyrics, and the group liked it. At the end of the day, we see that Bocchi covered her entire room with the photo she took with the girls. What a weirdo. Her first payday arrives, and Bocchi starts fantasizing about what to spend her first salary on, but she snaps back to reality when they tell her that they must pay for their concert. With all the expenses they have to cover, they decide to work during summer. Nijika asks her sister if they can play next month, something that her sister refuses. The manager speaks with Bocchi and tells her that they can have an audition, and depending on the result, they could be able to play, so they need to show their progress. Bocchi fell a bit lost and was thinking a lot about it, so Nijika cheers her up, which makes her arrive at a new conclusion. She doesn't want to stand out just for herself, but for all the girls of the Kesoku band. After their presentation, Seika, Nijika's sister, gave the girls some tips and told them that they passed the audition. The sister is such a tsundere, huh? Seika recognizes Bocchi's talent, but her shyness and little experience playing in the group stop her from showing off all her talent. So she tells Bocchi that she will be watching her. The helper tells her that she will let them play anyways. For their next concert, each of them must invite 5 people. But there's a problem. Hitori family only has 4 members, no more. Bocchi was sitting, thinking about how she was going to sell the tickets for the Kesoku band's concert, and while she was hallucinating, a girl falls at her feet asking for help and some soup to get rid of her hangover. After helping her, Hitori tries to lie to get away from her, but before abandoning her, the drunken girl tells Bocchi to not put down her guitar and to never stop playing it because she might be the right person to play it. These words touched Bocchi's heart, which made her apologize. Turns out that the drunken girl is a bassist who forgot her bass in a bar, so she goes with Bocchi to get it back. Once they get the bass back, she tells Bocchi that she drinks to forget, which makes Bocchi think about what would happen if she drank, and after imagining a catastrophic situation, the girl thanks Bocchi and invites her to play at a street concert. Bocchi manages to do it and also sells 2 tickets. She sold the last one that was required to the mysterious bassist. The girls head to Bocchi's house to design their t-shirts, and they are received by a large welcome sign and a nervous Bocchi. Our protagonist goes out to get some drinks while the girls meet their little sister Futari and her dog. Bocchi asks her sister to leave in exchange for an ice cream so that the meeting may begin. Kita shares her idea, but Nijika says that it looks like something out of a cultural festival, which triggers a trauma for Bocchi since sports festivals are torture for introverts. Bocchi's parents arrive and they stop to say hi because they were incredulous that their daughter brought some friends home. They make dinner and ask the girls if Bocchi paid them to be her friends. They start watching a movie and playing Twister. Then Bocchi shows the design of her t-shirt, but not everyone liked it. The days go by and they decide to use the design made by Nijika, who apparently had already made it a long time ago. Right on the day of the concert, everything was going well until a typhoon struck. Seika is sad because apparently not a lot of people will come due to the typhoon. The drunken girl arrives and it turns out that Seika knew her since they were classmates in college. They start the concert and they make a lot of mistakes during the first song, something that Bocchi realizes and decides to take the initiative for the second song, which turned out much better and made Seika really proud. The girls go to a bar and the drunken woman introduces herself. Her name is Hiroi Kikuri. Nijika still wasn't back and Bocchi went looking for her. Nijika tells Bocchi that she found out she was Guitar Hero, but Bocchi didn't want to hide it from anyone, but rather she just didn't feel ready to reveal it, and the person she wanted to tell most was Nijika. Nijika tells Bocchi about her past and how her sister was her closest family member. Starry was bought by her sister so that Nijika could enjoy music. Her dream was being part of a famous band so that Starry becomes popular, and that thanks to Bocchi it had a lot of support. Bocchi tells her that her reason for joining the band is that she wants them to become an unbeatable and famous group to be able to drop out of high school. Nijika says that with her they will be able to fulfill their dreams, but the most important thing is that she keeps showing her rock. Bocchi's rock. Bocchi the Rock. You caught me, gentlemen. This is real cinema. There are very few days left until vacation's end, and Bocchi wants to hang out with her friends but doesn't manage to do it. Seika tells the girls how Bocchi feels because nobody asked her out. The girls propose many things, but in the end they decide to go to Enoshima Beach. Now at the beach, they are scared away by some local partygoers, so they instead go to a nearby sanctuary. After going up the stairs, they start eating ice cream until some birds attack Bocchi, leaving her defeated, much like Yamcha. Now at the sanctuary, they pray a little bit. On the way back, Bocchi thanks them because she had a lot of fun, but didn't last long because the next morning she woke up all sore from going up too many stairs. During class, Bocchi was fantasizing, and when she wakes up, she discovers that her class will make a maid cafe for the festival, and that she will have to dress up as a maid. She also sees that she can play with her band during the festival, so she inadvertently fills up a form to participate, but she failed to do it because she fainted. Kita visits her in the infirmary, but she asks her to leave so that she doesn't see the form, since she's still not sure yet, and she tells that to Seika. Nijika and Ryo tell her to take it easy. The next day, Kita tells her that she handed in Bocchi's form because it apparently fell in the trash, and that she's eagerly waiting to play with the other girls. Hiroi arrives and invited the girls to her concert in her club called Shinjuku Folk. After Hiroi's amazing concert, she tells Bocchi that she used to be introverted just like her, but she needed to drink alcohol alcohol to become confident and play well, and that Bocchi had achieved all of this without having to drink anything, and that's when Bocchi invites her to watch her play in her high school's festival. The girls decide to give Bocchi a guitar solo so she can show off. Later, Kita admits to Bocchi that she sent the form on purpose, but Bocchi tells her not to worry about it, and she is very excited about all of this and can't wait to play. The festival arrived and Bocchi disappeared after putting on the maid outfit, so the girls go looking for her. Meanwhile, Bocchi is regretting this and missing her box of mangoes. She checks her video channel and sees that people are giving her up for dead since she hasn't uploaded any videos in a really long time. The girls manage to find her and decide to walk around the various stalls of the festival. Even so, Bocchi cannot free herself from her responsibilities and has to work at the maid cafe. The girls go to the cafe and work to help Hitori. Later, they go see the stage where they will play, and they go to a studio for their last rehearsal. It seems that Kita already knows that Bocchi is Guitar Hero. The moment to play arrives, and it's full of people. Bocchi realizes that in addition to her family, all of the people she met are there to support her. The concert begins. The first song is a great success, but it seems that something is happening to Bocchi. They move on to the second song, where Bocchi has to do her guitar solo. Apparently, Bocchi's guitar was out of tune, and she tries to adjust it, but by tightening the peg so much, the string ends up snapping. Seeing this, Kita covers Bocchi with an ad-lib. Bocchi comes up with the idea of playing with a can as a slide, something that the people end up liking. After finishing the concert, Kita asks Bocchi to say a few words to the audience. She doesn't know what to do, but she remembers when Hitori jumped into the crowd in one of the concerts, so she does the same, but nobody caught her. Now at home, Bocchi apologizes to her dad for breaking the guitar, but he tells her that it's no biggie, and that this is a sign to buy a new one. They give her the money she earned with her internet videos since Bocchi used her family account, so her dad decided to monetize her channel as it had a lot of views and they already knew Bocchi was Guitar Hero. The girls arrive at a musical instrument shop and Bocchi buys a new guitar, and she apologizes to her old guitar back home, and she goes to the club. After such a tremendous ending, we have a scene of Bocchi walking. She looks at the sky and complains because she has to go to work. Keep going, little Bocchi. Your story has only begun. This is how Bocchi the Rock ends. A story full of action, adventure, suspense, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of rock. We'll stay tuned in case the second season of this great anime that has touched the hearts of so many drops. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Everyone does it to not miss out on any of the summaries I'm uploading. See you later, Kisoku Band.